Hey, After Legal Warriors, does it matter if you're guilty or innocent when defending your criminal case? You might be interested about what I have to say about that because one is usually better than the other, but maybe not the one you think. If you're interested in the area of the law, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm has been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 25 years, and I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. Now, as always, I'm just going to jump right into it. Doesn't matter to the system or to the outcome of your case if you're charged with a crime if you're actually guilty or you're actually innocent. And it seems like a pretty obvious question, right? It's a lot better to be actually innocent, right, Lance? Well, of course, it's always going to be better in, truth and justice type of situations if you're innocent, but it's a lot harder to go through a criminal case if you're a defendant who is literally 100% innocent of anything you've been accused of, because the mental anguish that you suffer in a court system, if you're wrongfully accused of something, is unimaginable. And it's even worse on your attorneys. It's even worse on us. We always say if a client is actually innocent, there's a lot more pressure on the attorney to try to stop the freight train of the system who is looking to roll over anyone that happens to be on their tracks. And if you're a defendant, you are on the tracks. Make no mistake about it. The court will tell us at an arraignment that we have, certain rights in this court hearing: right to an attorney, right to a jury trial, right to remain silent, and the right to be presumed innocent. And if you're actually an innocent person, I always ask my client, do you feel presumed innocent right now when you can't go home and you can't possess a firearm or you can't drive a car, or there's going to be pretrial probation, or you have to take urine tests while you who are presumed innocent are going through this criminal system? So the system sort of, in my opinion, doesn't really presume people innocent. They presume that everybody is doing wrong things, and they need to protect the public if you happen to be on those train tracks charged with a crime. Now, let's say that you are guilty of doing something in your mind you could have done better. Maybe it's a push and shoving match. You regret doing it. Well, do you think it's going to be easier or harder if you think you've done something possibly wrong in trying to go through the steps that an attorney needs you to go through to hopefully lead to a dismissal of your case? Are you going to be more motivated to try to do the things that we need you to do, an alcohol and drug evaluation, maybe some anger management, something like that? Or are you going to be more motivated if you're actually innocent? Oh, I didn't do anything, but I get to do all these things. I have to go through all these hoops to prove my innocence. Aren't I presumed innocent? So you can see in the system how you think about your case matters. So if you hold on to a position that you're 100% innocent and you're not going to do anything to try to get out of this unfair situation, it's more likely that train is going to crush you, right? Because the rules are set up against the people accused of crimes, right? Criminal law is made to protect the public, but really to keep people and society, the people in power, right? In an organized society. And so if you are actually hanging on to that innocence and it makes you not do things to help get your case dismissed in a more easy way or a less risky way, not having to go to a trial, then you're really hurting your case. If you think you've done something wrong, well, we don't want to admit to doing things wrong because it's not our job to make amends to the government. It's our job to protect you from the government. In this particular situation, that it will be easier on, however, for you to do the things you're supposed to do. So what are some tips if you're actually innocent of a crime and you're having to go through criminal court even though you're 100% innocent? Well, the first tip is to keep an open mind. Oftentimes when somebody thinks they're 100% innocent, they maybe don't know the risks of what is actually being accused against them, right? And they oftentimes forget that just because you know one thing's true doesn't mean the other side thinks that's true, right? If this is an assault case, the other side may think that you started it, and they're just as innocent in their mind as you are in your mind. And remember, it's not the prosecutor's job to decide what happened for real or not, right? They are supposed to do justice, but usually prosecutors are just processing their case. So if you are an innocent person, you think you're innocent, keep an open mind if you have an attorney talk about what the risks are and what the other side is talking about, because oftentimes we go along with blinders and we only see our point of view. And a really good attorney's job is not to just bull in a china shop you through the system. It's to let you see the other side too, so we can put our ego aside and try to make the best decisions to make sure that we're not convicted of something when in this case we didn't do something. What's a tip for if you think you did do something wrong, right? Well, number one tip is don't tell people you did things wrong. You can talk to your attorney, but don't be apologizing to others or sending text messages, sorry I gave you a bloody nose, stuff like this. We don't want to help build the state's case, but we also want to keep on our mind that even though we've done something wrong, it doesn't mean that our life is over, right? It doesn't mean that there's no path forward. It doesn't mean that we're going to be convicted and we're necessarily going to be put in jail. If you get good legal help, we also can hopefully take steps to make the prosecutors see that perhaps you deserve a second chance if you do the right things after whatever wrong thing that happened. So we've got these two sides of the coin, right? We've got the client who's, I'm 100% innocent, it's my way or the highway. Maintaining that attitude is, very good attitude to have, unless it gets in your way and lets you ignore the realities of the system that supposedly presumes you innocent, when in fact, that's not how people experience it when they're in court. And again, the other side, if you're really guilty of something, we don't give up hope. We try to go forward. The system is made with good courts and prosecutors to be a place of redemption, of rehabilitation, right, of not just punitiveness. And there are prosecutors and courts that act like that, and we work hard against those. And so on either side, going towards the middle with how you think about the case. Well, number one, will make it easier to get through. Also, two, will usually lead to a better outcome in the long run. Because remember, if we are thinking about things rationally, we want the best outcome with the least amount of risk. Because criminal convictions, jail and stuff like that have long-lasting marks on someone's future if we're living in this type of organized society that we are today. So I hope you found that useful. If so, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see this. More people get the help they need. More importantly, if you have a criminal matter in Washington State, feel free to reach out to our firm. If we get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward. We will be there for you. Thank you.